Hello and welcome to No, what the fuck? That's not how it starts. Hello. What do I say? Hello and welcome to I don't say that.
I mean, that would work if you did say that. That's generally the custom.
Hello, motherfuckers. Often you say too.
Do I? Okay. Well, let's just go with hello. No, hang on.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend, mein LesOdes.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome.
Well, I think we've done the intro, but it was quite a confused one today. But yes, hello. Welcome to the third season. Yeah, hang on. I know it's at the top of my screen, Fliss. Thank you. Third season, episode 10 of Oderants. I am your utterly incompetent host, Dan, and I am joined by the brilliant and ever perfume ready Ben, Chris, and Fliss. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm still German. Hello, mein friends.
Right, James has been replaced.
Offended every German listener we've got, aren't I? Ich habe Schmerzen.
What does that even mean?
It means
I have a
headache.
You're giving me a fucking headache, I'll tell you that much. James is going by the name Chris for reasons that we may or may not explain at some point today. If we do, great. If we do not, please do write in and we will be happy to explain the shit out of that one. Let's go directly to what interesting has been going on in your world of perfumery. Ben, tell me something interesting about perfume this week. You weren't ready, were you?
I will. I would say,
you have to do the whole thing in a faux German accent, though.
No. Otherwise I'm Nine, exactly. I'll definitely get death threat.
Ich will's nicht.
So this week, right, we doing, so for part 2, got me digging through some of my other perfumes that I haven't smelt for a long time. And I really wanted to pick, you'll get why later, right, but I really wanted to pick a perfume. And I checked it out. I was like, this is a cheap perfume. It's going to be easy to get hold of. Looked on eBay. Apparently it's been discontinued and now it's impossible to get and it's super expensive. And I thought, that's weird. Is it that good? And I sprayed it and fuck me, yeah, it is that good, right? Bulgari Perfume Soir. Good Lord. What a perfume that is, right? And when I bought it a long time ago, right? And when I got it, it was on the grey market, super easy, because it used to be given away on Emirates Airlines first class flights. They gave it on the little kind of dog bag or whatever, party bag.
Dog bag?
Yeah,
party bag?
Party bag. They'd give you a little party bag when you got off the flight and you'd get a bottle of Bulgari Perfume Soir.
I think it's toiletries rather than party bag. I mean, it's not like
I don't know. I've never flown first class. Is that
what's in your party bag? You got fucking kazoo, glow sticks, little bag of Charlie. Yeah, proper party
bag. Sounds like a good flight though, doesn't it?
It does actually.
Everyone in back is stressed out, and everyone in first class is having a fucking rave up.
Raving it right up. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you, because of that, anyway, it was I guess people leafed it, probably the Emirates workers leafed it and filtered it out into the grey market in
Leafed it? Yeah. Do you mean stole it? Tea-leafed it?
Yeah.
Thefted it?
Yeah. Tea-leaf. They'd nick it, wouldn't they? Or I don't know, but the grey market was flooded with the bottles, and I got it for £20. So when we were doing this part 2 bit, which is where we're picking perfumes, I was like, that's a good perfume, that's a good price. And I smelt it and fuck me, it's so good, man. It's one of the best tea perfumes I've smelt in a long time.
You're often fond of saying Bulgari do tea very well, and I think they do. How much does it sell for now? Secondary markets?
Silly, so to say sell for is bold because they're all on eBay, but whether or not they sell, I don't
listed,
know.
Yeah.
But they're about £150 for 100ml, and
you know, by the way, that you can search and then edit your search so that you select only completed or sold items. It's a brilliant way of actually valuing stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
You can, when you put in your search in the advanced options, there's like a drop down, and one of the options is completed listings. So you can see what stuff actually fucking sold for.
Yeah,
which is
because
quite
I
handy.
can't see this selling for this price. Like, you know, you see all but there's like 4 or 5 listings, and they're all like 100 plus. That's bonkers, but. It's such a good perfume when I smell it.
Is it that black one?
It is,
black bottle?
yeah. So it's like a smoky glass bottle. It's all over there.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really good, man. It's like, and it's really basic. It's like, I think like listed notes, if I remember, is something simple like tea, papyrus, and bergamot, and that's it. But I mean, I don't know. It's zingy and zippy. It's like tea, but with this like quite interesting sort of. I mean, it is a bergamot note, but it has like an interesting like grassiness to it. It's really good, man. It's really really good, and I don't know why they would have discontinued it, other than the fact that they're just bastards.
It's so annoying.
It was wildly popular as well, I believe. I remember being told at the time by sales assistants and stuff that was a really popular one. Because I thought I was sort of alone in like, I was like, does anyone know about this? It's great. And they were like, yeah, it's pretty popular in that line. Sorry.
I suppose it's quite sparse. Maybe that's why it sort of was deemed as maybe like not mainstream enough, because it's quite a basic perfume in a way, but it's quite minimalist, I guess. I don't know.
I think tea often gives that kind of minimalist vibe, because it's very almost meditative kind of thing. It sort of always puts me in mind of spas and sort of emptying your mind and fucking Zen bullshit. But tea's all good. I did want to say as well, I had a very similar thing. Searching out what I considered to be an extremely affordable amber for part 2, which was Baldasarini. Is that how you pronounce it? Baldasarini? Baldasarini. And it was I forget, Strictly Private, I think it's called, which is a little black bottle, gold plaque, amber. I paid like £18.50 for a bottle. Fucking 300 quid on eBay. I was like, what the motherfuck is going on here? Mental. Absolutely mental.
I did the same. I think we're going to have a big conversation about this in a second, because I did the same about so many things. I was like, well, that was 20 quid when I bought it. And I look it up and I'm like, £67 for that? Not quite 300, but there was a lot of stuff like that going down.
Yeah, that Baldasarini was Hugo Boss, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he worked for Hugo Boss or something, and then set up his own brand, I think. Yeah. There's some really good perfumes as well. There's one which is just, I think, called Pour Homme, which I've got, which again was like about 12 quid. And it's so elegant and lovely and wonderful. Everything about it is great, except, and I'm not a performance bro, but fuck me, if you spray a perfume and it's gone in 15 minutes, it's not a perfume. It's just some sort of vaguely scented kind of water.
Pick me up.
Yeah. And that is what it is, unfortunately. It just vanishes regardless of how... And you can spray like 40 sprays of that shit and it's gone in 15 minutes. But there you go. All right, back to you, Ben. Sorry. What other stuff then, apart from your precious Bulgari?
That's about it, to be honest, for exciting stuff this couple of weeks. I've not really smelt very much that's like tickled my nuts, really, otherwise. Right. That was about it, really.
Nut tickling is a primary consideration when it comes to perfume. I mean, in terms of nut tickling, I got something of a stern look, actually, from, or at least a virtual stern look on WhatsApp from Fliss. There was no nut tickling involved, just for clarification. But because I sold Le Lion, it's funny. Someone commented on the post. Someone commented on my sales post saying, "I've literally just listened to you saying you've just bought Le Lion. So here's Le Lion for sale." I sold it, but I sold it because I bought this, and I figure there's only enough room in my life for one of these two. And this is, of course, MDCI Chypre Palatin.
Why is there only room for one? I don't understand.
It's so different. I've got both.
They're completely different perfumes.
They're completely different perfumes, but they very much capture the same sort of mood for me, which is sort of... it's not perfume that I would really tend to wear out. It's much more for my own enjoyment, and they achieve a similar thing, which is I would like to now just kind of revel in the beauty of something very, I think, feminine, actually. I think they are both very feminine perfumes to me. And I just think this is way better. I did use an analogy. I don't know if I've used this one before, but I describe Le Lion as like David Bowie. It's the David Bowie of perfume, right? Everybody says it's fucking genius. Everybody says it's fucking amazing and the greatest thing ever made. And I can totally fucking listen to Bowie and go, oh yeah, that's good, it's really good. But I don't actually love Bowie. I've tried. I've listened to a lot of fucking Bowie, but I don't love his music. I just don't. And that's sort of how I ended up feeling about Le Lion. Whereas, as I said, they are to me in a same sort of mood space. Chypre Palatin, I have a much more kind of visceral connection with. So, in order to understand that, you basically have to accept that for me, they're in a similar sort of emotional space, even though the perfumes are not in any way similar. And then you sort of have to accept that one of them kind of does tickle my nuts and the other one fails to.
I think that's really fair. I think I do that a lot when I'm having a clear out, and I'll ask the question, I might like two perfumes and, like you say, a mood space. But if one does the job better, and I'm always going to reach for that, why keep the other one? Yeah. Just for the sake of having it in a collection?
Yes.
No need.
Well, that's the answer, though, isn't it? Just for the sake of having it in a collection.
Oh, my precious collection. Oh, give me those big bottles. Oh, my tiny little hands.
I also felt like I'd just chronically overspent on perfume in the last kind of month or two. So I've been flogging perfumes like fucking mad over the last 3 weeks. I reckon I've sold 40 bottles over the last 3 weeks. Well, a lot of them were just like old shit. So, well, not old shit. That's unfair.
Thanks for buying them, though.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have much that's really shit, but a lot of them were things that I'd accumulated, and they were basically just not worth selling individually. I can't be asked to sell something.
There was a lovely bundle you had up today that was like 5 bottles for a really silly price. I was like, bloody hell, Dan, you're clearing out.
And that's what I found is a bit easier, right? So if I can't be asked selling something for like £18, because by the time you've got a box out, fucking paid for postage and stuff, it's £10. It's like, it's barely worth the fucking energy. So what I did sort of decide to do was just take all these little sort of not terribly high value items and just put them into bundles and just sort of say, well, yeah, that's an 80 quid bundle, that's a 100 quid bundle. And I managed to get rid of loads of stuff like that, which has actually been quite cathartic. My cupboard doors now close again, which is cool.
Feels good, doesn't it, when you've had a good clear out?
It does. It feels great. So anyway, that's my exciting perfume news. Fliss, what about you?
I think we're all doing a January clear out or the beginning of a February clear out, because I did the same thing, and I've got a little stack of things that I can't possibly sell individually just on my chest of drawers over there. Yeah. Next week I'm going to bundle them all up and just go,
little bundles of joy. Yes.
That's what I called them, isn't it, this week when I was selling some?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So I was doing that. I also was just going through a couple of my samples as well, because I've been trying to clear out all my sample stuff. I wore My Pearls by Merchant of Venice, which is one of those things that I keep seeing reviews of and going, oh, I feel the FOMO.
Which one is this, sorry?
Merchant of Venice. It's called My Pearls, and it's comes in one of their beautiful bottles. I think the thing about Merchant of Venice is their bottles are so beautiful, it's really hard not to want them. And blown glass, and it's all Murano glass. And
aren't they basically a clone brand?
Well, they certainly seem to be turning that way. When they first released, they weren't at all. And I've got great joy out of some of their early releases.
Oh, really? Okay.
More recently, they definitely have a Tuscan leather. They definitely have a Baccarat Rouge. You know.
Yeah.
I wore My Pearls, and it's very lovely. It feels like a very creamy Dove soap, almost Nivea-ish. And it has a lovely kind of fruity tea rose, which lifts it from being what I was expecting it to be. It's less generic than I was expecting.
Right.
It's very inoffensive, utterly wearable, very classy. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It smells like a lady who's wearing a white button-down shirt and she's got a string of pearls around her neck and she's got all perfect hair and shit. It's gorgeous, but it doesn't suit me at all.
It's a bit Marks and Spencer.
I would say a bit up from Marks and Spencer.
John Lewis?
I would up from John Lewis.
Ooh,
even.
Selfridges?
I mean, she's definitely got a little cashmere shrug that she's probably bought from the local country fair around her shoulders as well, in a nice camel colour. You know, I would never wear a camel cashmere shrug because my children would have jam all over it in 2 seconds. Yeah. She's almost certainly called Caroline. You know, that kind of thing.
Does she wear Hunter wellies?
Of course.
Naturally, yes. I think
Yes,
I'd quite like to meet her. What does she do for a living?
Get on really well.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, well, she probably used to have a PR agency, but now she stays at home because all the kids still need her. So, but she'll probably go back to the PR agency in about 10 years' time.
Does she still find time to get to the gym?
Oh, constantly, every morning.
Okay, good. I like her.
Straight after the school run.
Please. could you send her my number?
I will.
Excellent. Right, that was weird.
Yeah, so that was great, but not for me. What was for me, however, was Under My Skin by Francesca Bianchi.
That's a really good perfume.
You sent me a message, didn't you, going, where the fuck has this come from? Well, explain this. Do you know how this ended up in my house?
Yeah. Somebody sent it to me from the group, a friend, and I couldn't work out because I received this lovely gift, and I was looking at the address on the label, and it didn't add up to anybody that I knew, so I thought somebody must have had to ask Dan for my address, and he did sort of help. He knew who it was, and he was right.
Yes.
I
know everything.
It's just you do see. So I was right to ask the question.
Yeah.
And I had tested it before, and I remember really liking it, and I still really like it. It's just creamy but filthy, but not so filthy. It doesn't have to be sexy. It's just warm, animalistic or familial bodies that are just soft.
Has a strange, powdery dustiness to it as well, doesn't it?
It really does, doesn't it? I was wearing it, and there's something about the texture of the top, which is very much like thiophenol scent to me. It burns off quite quickly, but that initial dirty texture's there. And there's also something in the texture which is quite like Bel M as well. Once it dries down, that softer, powdery feel to it. So in terms of those mood spaces, it cuts between something that could be potentially very, very sexy and just viscerally dirty, and something that could just be very calm and cozy and warm like a hug. And it sort of does both of those things at the same time for me.
Okay, James, do you have 14 perfumes for us today?
Sorry, no. I've got 13.
Is it more or less?
It's less. I think I did 13.
Oh, that's weirdly triggering for me. Okay, let's hear your 13.
Okay, so on the first day, I wore Guerlain Oud Essential, which everyone hates. everyone hates that.
I don't hate it because I don't know it. I don't think.
Well, it was one of those that came out in the B bottles.
Yeah. Just the way you said, yeah.
Well,
but you'll hate it because it.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying everyone hates it, but most people are like, no, that's a really shit synthetic kind of rose oud bullshit. And it is that, but it's not half as bad as what people make out. And I think if you a light application of it, and it's perfectly fine, but I understand the criticism of it because it's a girl line and people expect more. Well, they did even just a short time ago, but I don't think they do much anymore because they've gone pretty downhill, haven't they? And the prices have gone up, and they haven't really done much of note recently, I don't think. So anyway, but I like it. I think it's okay if you don't hammer yourself too much in it. Then I wore Amouage Reflection Man 45, so I wore my last little bit of Reflection Man 45. Love that. I started to get some odd, like, other facets from it, almost little bits of kind of bitter orange, a little bit like, bizarrely, Terre d'Hermès, which you would go, no, it's a weird, it's a Fougère, you know what I mean? It's blatantly what it is, but I was getting some of that weirdly from it, and I was like, wow, this is a really amazingly faceted. I love that, to the point where I think it's probably one of the best of those stronger concentrations that they did, and I think I maybe would get a bottle if it was a bit cheaper. Not that it should be cheaper because it's bloody good quality gear, but it's definitely my second favourite after the Interlude one. Yeah. So then I wore Fragments by NVC, which is Neela Vermeer, is it?
Neela Vermeer Creation.
Yeah, and this one's
is
called...
Is that what the C is? Creation.
Perpurem Parfum.
Perpurem.
Let me just look.
Is it good?
Do you know what? I'll just say this now, because there's a few of these on there, and I know we're planning to talk about them. So again, I don't want to go too overboard, but I will say that without anything standing out massively and being like, wow, I need to get a bottle of this now, every single one is excellent. It conveys the message, the kind of direction of the brand. It's that spicy kind of, like I say, it's got that kind of Indian spices in all of them. They've all got cardamom in pretty much, I think, but in a really good way, in that none of them really smell like anything else. But yes, you can point to, okay, they've done a white floral one here that's a bit like a kind of bubblegummy sort of tuberose one, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, anyway, this one is... let me see, Perpurem Parfum. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, I have. So hot, sparkly spices, booze, hyped up fruity berry accord. It is very sort of red and purple, kind of like smelling, if that's a thing. And then it's got this slightly metallic incense, like oud, and I've put in sort of brackets. So, no, in sort of like little speech mark things, quotation marks, whatever. So I'm assuming that means like... synthetic oud. I'm questioning myself here. Reminds me a bit of Molten and Brown Golden Oud Accord, mesmerising Golden Oud Accord, which is not... Oh,
that's quite nice.
Yeah, it's all right, but it's a bit of a cheapo fragrance, so it's well better than that, don't get me wrong. And also the Hour of Dusk and Gold, I think that's called as well, by Parterre. So it's a bit more incensey, a bit more like quality materials. But it also has this weird, like... a bit like that Antoine Barrois, what's it called? Marc-Antoine Barrois.
Ganymede.
Yeah, any of those, just like kind of sparkly.
They're
incense.
all basically the same perfume.
Yeah, it's not as strong and bombastic, and it's well more kind of refined, and just a little touch of that. Maybe a bit of CDG Floriental. It's got those weird like Space Church vibes. It kind of feels like it's got a little bit of like buttery biscuit base, right? Cue Mr. Wallace. I said it was like a kind of almost like a kind of cheesecake that's got like a kind of purpley pink like mirror glaze on it. I've used loads of fucking powerful imagery. It was a good one. It was a weird one, and I liked it a lot. So anyway, that's that spoken about enough. I can't wait for us all to try them because I think that, like I say, overall, without anything standing out and being like they're all so decent across the board, which is unheard of, right? Because there's usually one that you go, yeah, that's a kind of cologne one, that's a white floral one, put that to one side. They all have that kind of spice thing running through them and really interesting openings, and they don't really smell like other things particularly. So that's what I really like about them, and they're really good. I'm
definitely going to buy one just because they look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The bottles, and I'm a big enough twat that for me the look of the bottle makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
That I think they look amazing. Yeah. So definitely I will buy one. I just have to figure out which one it is.
They are a classy bottle, aren't they? They're very nice. So then I wore L'Artisan Parfumeur Le Navigateur. Do you know that one?
I don't.
I haven't smelt it in ages, but it's one of the OG L'Artisans when L'Artisan were really pumping out good stuff.
I think so, yeah. I think it was either made in the late 70s or 80s maybe. I don't know. But it's a Jean-Claude Helena. It's not really particularly like his style. I think,
no.
Could it be potentially before he even sort of had a style? I don't know. But it's very chocolatey. It's very L'Artisan in terms of like it's a kind of spicy, woody fragrance, but with this chocolate, like patchouli sort of like thing to it. It's brilliant. It's kind of like, it's got like soapy sort of vibes to it as well. So it's kind of like soap and chocolate. You'd go, no, but it's like, yes, it's really good. Then I wore another Nila Vermeer Bombay Bling, which is the one. It was Bombay Bling, actually.
That's the one that sort of caught my eye just from the description of.
I don't think you'll like that one because it's quite floral. Really? It's quite feminine. Yes, it does have the spicy element to it. It's kind of ambery. Do you know what? It's excellent. So maybe you would. And I think I'm not surprised that it's one of the ones that people go on about. Again, I don't really want to go into too much detail, but I'll just say that they're all very good. And that one is, again, particularly nice. And yeah, just like kind of excellent, really. Yeah, I think I've written a review on Fragrantica if anyone's really interested, but it was very good.
Cool.
So anyway, then I wore Chanel 31 Rue Cambon, which we all know is a kind of woody, spicy Chanel chic thing, but I love that perfume. It's great.
So chic.
Beautiful. Then I wore Clive Christian C, which is basically Tuscan leather. I'm not really usually down for that sort of vibe, but I was just feeling it, and it was great. And I kind of get this very long sort of woody dry down. I think the Clive Christian C is one of the better ones. I did have Tuscan leather at the same time as this, even though I never really wore this a lot, and it's kind of smokier, a little bit heavier even than the original really good Tuscan leathers. So it's very good, I have to say, if you're into Tuscan leather. Is it maybe perhaps a little bit less sweetened with the raspberry shit than the Tuscan leather was, but yeah, still amazing fragrance. Then I wore Theophenol Scent, which I think I mentioned to Fliss during the week.
Awesome.
Because we all loved that, didn't we? What an amazing fragrance that is. My mum always gets in the car and goes, "Oh, you've got that. It smells like Yardley Freesia." She always says every perfume that she doesn't like smells like Yardley Freesia. Then I wore, Nila Vermeer again. This one's called Ashoka. Ashoka, which is like a kind of, I was like, okay. Let me remember what that was like. Now, from the name, you'd be like, oh, has it got a kind of slightly ashy, maybe a bit of like vetiver or a little bit of something like that, cedar maybe or something? Yeah, it does. But it doesn't immediately. It's kind of opens maybe... I have written it down. Hang on. Ashoka.
Is the brand itself Indian?
I think she is possibly the creative director lady, possibly. I mean, it's all like, it kind of screams that from like, it says like Raj era and like different things. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what the collection's all about. So I'm just kind of assuming that it is. But yeah, I mean, from like reading the little card inside, they all, you know, have. In fact, that can remind me because I haven't written a review of Ashoka. So yeah, it's fig leaf, lotus, water hyacinth, osmanthus absolute, cassie absolute, jasmine sambac, iris, ylang ylang, fig milk, myrrh, sandalwood, Haitian vetiver, there you go, leather, styrax, incense, tonka bean. So I would say it's got lovely, like soft, like dry down. They've all got this lovely, soft, woody, creamy sort of like vibe to them. But again, yeah, this has like exotic floral elements, but nothing too over the top, to the point where people who are into really exotic florals might go, it's a bit underwhelming. But also people who are kind of like them, maybe like me, but don't want something that's too grand, or you want something that's a new experience rather than this is a really good jasmine-based perfume, or this is a really good ylang ylang perfume, or whatever. They're kind of little, like, it's a true mixture. Like, they're really good. They're kind of, that kind of complex, but like they're really quite easy to wear, and sort of, you know, they're not very, they don't sort of announce themselves. So to say that that's a bit watery in the beginning, yeah, it does have those kind of like lotusy, I don't know, sort of like floral elements, and then it has this like, yeah, woody sort of vetiver, a little bit kind of ashy, and you're like, oh, that's quite clever how it's done that. So yeah, like I say, I can't really say enough things about these without any single one being like, oh, it was a complete knockout. They're all just, like I say, just really good across the board. So,
well, I'm sure someone will be along shortly to accuse you of shilling just because you have
like
positive things
I had
to say.
No
about
knowledge of this brand beforehand, really, other than people going, oh yeah, these exist, and I saw the bottles. That was it. I didn't look into. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't have any expectations particularly. I don't like to really hear. I like to hear other people's opinions after I've already smelled something. If I'm hearing them, you hear them inadvertently, but I kind of don't want any sort of influence on, you know.
I mean, I think probably, and not to blow sort of smoke up anyone's arse, but I think if Brooke at Sanselier stocks them, odds are there's going to be some good stuff in that range. It's not like, you know, she knows what she's talking about when it comes to perfume, and that whole operation is very much a kind of labour of love. So, you know, if she's stocking them, odds are there's going to be something decent in there. But it's nice to hear that you know you think good things about the whole range.
Yeah,
so,
I do. And again,
I'll definitely have to buy one.
That just further validates exactly what you've said, because, like I say, I didn't really know that she carried them until, you know, a few weeks ago, before I was thinking about, because I actually looked, and unfortunately, I think the sample sets were out of stock. Well, the main sample set, and then shout out to Rich Mitch, the duck. Said, oh, I've got some, you can have mine for however much, like 30 quid or whatever it was, I don't know. And so he sent me his, and yeah, I think they're superb. And then it all just, like I say, that just exactly fits into what you're saying, that it was like, well, you know, I wouldn't just take it at face value that, oh yeah, anything Brooke got is going to be great. I'd have to try it, but it all seems to be the case, to be honest, with everything that she has curated in that, you know, in that brand. But again, you know, we're not shills for her either. So anyone wants to fucking, you know, accuse us of that, fuck you. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, then I wore nothing.
So just
that.
side note on Rich Mitch.
Oh yeah.
This is fucking stupid. But I said to him that I'd assumed that his name must be Richard Mitchard.
It pretty much is, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But Rich Mitch, it must be Richard Mitchard. And he sent me a WhatsApp going, yeah, no, my parents are cruel, but not that cruel. So
that cruel.
It's, yeah. Anyway, Richard
so the next day you wore... It is, yeah.
So
I think Mitchard. Richard Mitchard sounds better.
Sorry.
Okay,
anyway.
and then you had one of these notorious no perfume days.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot and was like, I won't wear anything. It's good to do that. Don't overwhelm yourself.
No, it's not. It's bad to do that. It fucks with my full 14.
I should have worn 2 another day. I did think about wearing 2. I've only just applied my perfume of the day about 2 hours ago. So anyway. Then I wore Clun Keen Castana, which all you guys thought we went, well, you're fucking wrong, because it's one of the best vetifers that's been made in the last 10 years or whenever it was made. It's fucking brilliant. It's like a nutty, it's amazing, right? So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so
fuck all you lot.
Nila Vermeer again. Picciola. What was Picciola? Let's have a look. Picciola. Okay, right. I'm talking about Tuscan leather. It does have a woody, leathery... Oh, no, that's today's one. Fucking hell, I'm getting them all mixed up. No, I don't have it with me. Oh, no, that's the tuberosy kind of one, right? So maybe, Fliss, you might be on board with this one, right? So I think you might either go, oh, yeah, it's one of those kind of... It's not bubblegummy, but it is sweet. And it's not immediately all tuberose. There's like banana-y, jasmine ylang sort of smell to it as well. But it's almost like a little bit of a kind of banana flumpy note, but it's got all this like spice in there as well, you know.
Did you just say banana?
You know,
flump?
like a flump. You know, those banana sweets.
I do know what a flump. I don't know how well that travels.
Do you know what?
Like,
I've just been to the pictures. We took Elliot to the pictures this afternoon, right? And there was somebody going through the pick and mix, right? And they did like a Peter Kay joke, right? It was like 2 guys, and this guy, oh, I'm going to have a bit of fudge. And he went, fudge? Oh, could you pick anything heavier? Or something like that, right? And that was like a Peter Kay joke, wasn't it? Like, get as many flumps as you want or whatever.
Yeah, you can have a... Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. So yeah, Picciola, I found it, I thought, to be honest, out of all of them, I probably would like that one because it was such a ride and it changed so much from the opening to... Because I thought, oh yeah, it's this floral thing. It's the least cliched white floral I think I've tried because it has all this spice, and then underneath there's like the base which is just kind of creamy, you know, woods and stuff. Is really good. It's really good. So yeah, I was really impressed with Picciola. Then yesterday I wore Tom Ford Noir for Men. I think I told you that I was dressing as an inflatable horse. Did I tell you about that? So I dressed as an inflatable horse. Have I got my placard that I made?
Was this again for your come
yeah,
dine
it was the last one, and it was very good. It was very, very, very boozy.
Right, he's now left. James has gone to get evidence of being...
So I had this.
Stop the abuse, I'm a majestic creature.
And yeah, basically I had a placard and I was kind of had an inflatable thing, suit, which was ridiculous. And I had to walk like to the person's house through fucking council estate with like, you know, as an inflatable horse. But yeah, fun was had by all. And I wore Noir by Tom Ford, which is an amazing fragrance. Why do you hate that? What's the problem?
No, I'm just having this picture of you walking through the council estate, dressed as an inflatable horse, stinking actually really quite nicely. I
love Noir. It's amazing. Noir for Men.
I know, but it's just like, you know, you could have worn Bascoul or something really animalistic to go with a horse, but no. You just undercut that shit.
I like that kind of, you know, the sort of juxtaposition of like, you know, yeah, I could have gone animalic maybe. But yeah, I think it's a really classy perfume. I love it. And it's really, yeah, it's got a lot of depth. I think it's really good. Anyway, then today...
Top 10 fragrances to smell like an inflatable horse.
Yeah.
Nice. I reckon that's
I've got
quite a good list.
In my part too, actually.
I'm not sure that as top 10 lists go, that's quite going to sort of trouble the top 10 panty dropper lists as such. But, you know, top 10 fragrances to smell like an inflatable horse. There's probably
I'd more likely click on that than any other top 10.
I know. I know. I know that very well.
So anyway, Rat L.
Yeah, I think we all would.
So Rat L is today, and that's by Neela Vermeer again. Yes, I've been wearing loads of these.
Are you shining a torch,
sorry. It's just so I can see because it's quite dark in here. I can't really read.
Okay.
So Rahel, and it's an olfactory travelogue. It's green mandarin cardamom. Fucking with the cardamom with this brand, it's insane. It's in everything. Violet leaf absolute, osmanthus absolute, rose absolute, magnolia, jasmine absolute, iris, violet, cedarwood, sandalwood, oak moss, patchouli, leather. So yeah, it is a kind of woody leather perfume, basically. Kind of forget all the floral stuff. Yeah, it probably has a floral element, but it feels more like, again, I'm saying incense, but it's got like this kind of spicy sort of opening. And yeah, it's for the amount of floral things that are supposed to be in it, it's not particularly floral, and it does have somewhat of a Tuscan leather-ish vibe to it. And again, that's quite reductive because this brand is nothing like any of that shit. But just for like the base, it's good. It's very good. Excellent. Done.
Well, okay. Well, I am definitely looking forward to trying them. I would urge people to go and just have a look online at these Neela Vermeer bottles. I think they look absolutely like stunning, and it's quite rare that I see perfume bottles now that I think, yeah, that's something new without it being probably tacky, if you like. And what they've done there is something that I'd not seen before, but just incredibly elegant. And
so elegant.
Yeah, really, really nice. Although, in terms of Instagram, it's worth noting that generally the lesser known the brand, the less likes and clicks and social media stuff it gets. So even if it's the most elegant bottle on earth, that's sort of how it works. You know, you can vomit up a bottle of Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel, and people are clicking on it for fucking days, going, "Oh, I love this post." I sort of guarantee I will buy at least one Neela Vermeer just to own one, and I will take a picture of it, and it will get about 3 likes because that's just how the world works. But do check them out.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is mad, but I mean, it sort of is what it is, I guess. There's a reason that Bleu de Chanel is like one of the biggest selling perfumes in the world, and unsurprisingly, if you post a picture of it, it has better reach than a small niche or indie brand that no one's heard of. You're just sort of firing it at a different shaped audience. So no, I'm not in any way kind of bitter about that. It's just an observation, really. I'm sort of past the point of caring at this stage. I just keep posting pictures, and it is what it fucking is.
Oh, photograph! What the fuck? I want a photograph.
Yeah,
you cunts.
You cunts. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Right. Is there anything exciting news-wise, or do we all want to just grab a cup of tea and dig in for fucking part 2? Because it's going to be a good one.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's do that. Right. Go. Prepare your libations. Is that the right word? Have a drink. Make a brew. Have a fucking brew. Make a brew, and back in just a few minutes for part 2 of Les Oderants. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back. Don't fucking call me. No, don't you fucking call me, son. Right, let's try that again without Fliss.
I said cool because I was excited.
Ah, well, you fucking hold your horses.
How dare you be fucking excited?
Back, Fliss. Right, let's try that again. Welcome. to part 2 of Les Oderants. Yes, still us. Good, right. This week we set ourselves a challenge, and the challenge was to build a perfume collection for a friend or a newbie on a budget of £200. And the rules were basically you could spend the money any which way you liked, as long as it came to like £200. And the purchases had to be from like online stores, right? So you had to buy a new thing. You couldn't sort of go, oh well, I managed to buy a fucking decant of this or half a bottle of some bollocks off Facebook or whatever. No, this has to be purchase stuff so that if someone actually really, really wanted to do and buy the collection that we'd come up with, they could actually go and do it for that £200. Firstly, did everyone stick to the rules?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Apart from one thing which is never going to be new, but you can purchase because it's a vintage, but you can purchase it in sealed bottles for less money than I've said you can.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. I didn't quite stick to the rules, but we did discuss this on WhatsApp. I basically ended up at something like £202.
But you borrowed that off me because I went under budget. So
it's all right. It's fine between mates. The other thing is I've ignored shipping, which I assume everyone else has ignored as well, because shipping's a bit variable. So what I'm interested in with each of you before we get into kind of the perfumes is who you designed it for, and maybe a bit about how you went about it. And just to sort of get you going, I designed this collection for my best friend, Ben, who doesn't listen to this podcast because he's got no real interest in perfume. I designed it for Ben, and the way I went about...
I'm slightly upset that you've got another friend called Ben.
Yeah, sorry. You know there are more than one Ben in the world. Or there is more than one.
Yeah, I went to school. My best friend at school was called Ben, and I was little Ben, and he was big Ben, and that has traumatised me my whole life.
So you're little Ben?
Well, maybe you're the new and improved Ben 2.0. The new Ben in Dan's life.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Ben was my best man at my wedding. Different Ben.
I mean, that's a high bar, really.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can be best man at my next wedding, Ben. And then... yeah.
All right.
Not that I'm planning one. I shall just make sure my wife knows. So, as usual, I'm fucking confused and slightly lost. So the way I went about it, I started initially with one perfume. I was like, right, this is going to be my cornerstone perfume around which I shall build the rest of the collection. Because I think you have to sort of put a stake in the ground and say, right, this is my starting point. And I proceeded to do that, and then several iterations later, I'd got shot of the original cornerstone and replaced it half a dozen times before I settled on my final number, which, by the way, I think was 4. I ended up with 4 perfumes. James, how did you approach this, and who's it for?
Mine is just for miscellaneous, not anybody in particular. Probably a man, just because I'm a man and I can relate more to men. Even
we'll call him Ben, shall we?
They're all pretty much unisex or feminine perfumes. Yeah, okay. No, they're just somebody who doesn't know particularly much about perfume, or I didn't really have anybody specific in mind, which I can understand why you might do, but I just really didn't. And that's not just me being lazy and not like fully embracing the challenge, because I did. It was just, it came very quickly to me. I wish I'd had more time to actually, like, say, do more things and maybe flesh out who the person was. But I didn't, and I just did one. And I'm reasonably happy with it in the sense that I covered a few bases, I feel. And they might be slightly unexpected bases, maybe. Or you might go, oh, no, that's what I think
How many perfumes did you come up with?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Holy fuck. And you still had enough money to lend me £2?
Yeah. I could have lent you £4, maybe. I can't. I'm just trying to think. I haven't actually worked it out, but no. So hang on.
But he spent the extra £2 on penny sweets.
No, yeah, there was about. Yeah, it was close. So yeah, the £2 after that there was a bit of shrapnel left. But.
Okay, interesting. Fliss, how did you approach, and who did you do it for?
How did I agonise over this? I decided to.
I love the fact.
Look at someone...
Sorry, Fliss, but I love the fact that this is such a burden, such a weight on your shoulders. It's like this was really difficult.
I took it really seriously because I love a challenge. You know me. I do like to sit at the top of the class with my arm in the air waving the right answer.
Miss.
And this was absolutely no different to any other day when someone asks me a question. I have to immediately find the right answer. I looked at it in terms of someone like my friend Sarah Manley, who is a friend of the show, or my friend Sophie Scott, also friend of the show, both relative perfume newbies who I think probably just began listening because I was doing a podcast about something that they found vaguely interesting. Oh. And now they're very, very much more interested. I think Sarah's always been more interested, Sophie less so, but I've sent them, since the show started, I've sent them samples and things of stuff that I've got in my collection or helped them find a frag that they like. So they are, they're interested perfumistas, but relatively new on the scene.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Yeah. And I looked at it in terms of the spread of what I could get for as much good stuff as I possibly could shove into £200 that would give a good spread across the year. So a nice light floral, a nice summer freshie, something more ambery, something a bit more Christmas, that kind of feeling. And I also really wanted to make sure that everything I was suggesting are things I have either had or still have in my collection. So I'm not fobbing anybody off with shit that I wouldn't wear myself. Everything that I've suggested is something that I either have or I have had in my collection.
Mine's the total opposite. I don't think I own any of them. Except for maybe one.
Really? I didn't feel like I had to own it, although I felt like I had to know it in order to be able to recommend it in some way.
Yeah, you've got to know them.
But I really want to see what you've got. You got 6, James. How many have you got for this?
Well, I've got 2 lists. I've got one for Sarah and one for Sophie. But I know. And my one for Sarah is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What?
And my one for Sophie is 8.
Fucking hell.
Bloody hell.
Right, I feel...
That's some bargain.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a profligate twat spending £200 on 4 perfumes. All right, Ben. Did you do one for someone called Ben as well?
I did, yeah. No.
Big Ben.
Big Ben, yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, probably. Because it's kind of like you guys. I didn't really have anyone specific in mind, but I did just think the kind of the curious muggle, someone who's up for a little bit of interesting. They don't just want Blur de Chanel and be done. Someone who wants to smell other stuff. But basically, like the curious muggle. And
it sounds like you did do it for Ben, but like Ben maybe before you got into perfume.
Maybe. Yeah.
Obsessively.
Yeah. I mean,
did it for yourself.
My friend Ryan, is that kind of who I just described basically, he's always interested in perfumes that I buy and stuff, but he doesn't have any himself. And I tried to get like a really complete complete collection. Like, I don't think I really succeeded. Actually, there is holes in it, but I think I got a good span. Like, I think it's like a bit like Fliss, like something for every sort of season, and I think there's something for every season and something for every occasion as well. There's definitely holes in it, but I think I did a quite good spread.
How many perfumes did you come up with?
5.
5. Okay, wow,
5,
fucking hell.
yeah.
So I've definitely gone for the fewest. All right, so Ben, well, how should we do this? So do you want to just do an individual's collection and we can appraise that and see where the discussion takes us?
I reckon we're going to have to, because mine sort of hinges on, so a bit like you as well. I had one big perfume and the others kind of hinged off of that. So
okay, let's do yours. Let's do yours, Ben. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, the easiest one to pick, I think, probably was a favourite, and I think perhaps it's going to be on other people's lists as well. Was Bedeau Chenois, 30 quid for 15 mil. That's a bargain, and it's a cracker. And my thought behind that one was the first one that came to mind. And my thought behind it was like, okay, this is like a kind of inoffensive, crisp, clean perfume that is good as well. And it kind of covers that sort of... So my first actual thought was Calvin Klein Eternity. So I thought, that's a bargain, and it's a cracker, and it's a little bit different. But then... I always think like Chenois kind of reminds me of that perfume in many respects, and it kind of covers the same base, and it's better. So I was like, no, we'll go with that. So that's how I got to Chenois. But I think it's a great perfume for the everyday sort of thing. And I thought, yeah, that at 30.
You wear it so often as well, don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, it is that, it is a sort of thing where if I'm cutting someone's hair or something like that, I know I can wear Chenois and not offend anyone. Like, I can get up in their shit and not upset them.
Get up in their shit. That's what it's there for. Okay.
And so, I thought that was a good one. And so the £30 for 15 mil, it also meant that was cheap. So I could...
Did anyone else have that? I mean, I didn't.
No, but good choice.
I think it's a very good choice.
It's funny because obviously she's based in Brighton as well, isn't she? And that perfume sort of I've never been to Brighton, but that perfume reminds me of Brighton. I just think, I'm like, yeah, Ben's like repping Brighton with that.
I did sort of think that it's a local perfume, you should really,
yeah. Well, that's cool, and I love that you love it, and good choice. And that, do you know what? I was thinking about this as well. How many mils did you get for? Because I've just realised I just totted mine up, and I've got 200 mils, so I paid like £1 a mil, which actually, when you look at it, is not really that.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone's doing
just
maths.
Over
600.
I got 205.
How many?
Okay.
How many have you got, Fliss?
About 600.
Yeah.
600 mils. Fuck. That's amazing. You've been proper thrifty as fuck.
That is mental. So I've got 205.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So 4 bottles, 205.
Interesting.
Okay, cool. Chenois. I think that's a really good call, actually.
That's a very lovely call, actually.
Cool. Okay, what did you add to Chenois?
So my next one was almost the complete polar opposite, and that you can see like the way my approach this was like, I was like, right, get Chenois, then go complete opposite, and I didn't want to do anything too stinky or aggressive or anything like that, but I wanted to get something big and spicy, right? So, but the problem with that is quite often quite expensive.
Yep.
Then I thought, Ardal Zafran Midnight Oud, £14 off eBay, and it's basically a 100% interlude clone. So I did kind of cheese out on this one, but it's the cheapest way of getting interlude. And the thing is, it's not, it is its individual bottle. It does look quite nice on the shelf. It doesn't look tacky. Well, it looks a little bit tacky, but it's not like terribly tacky. It's not like a straight clone, but it's, and it is identical. So
I feel like I can't really disqualify you at this point, because that would be a shit episode if you were disqualified. But we did sort of say no out and out clones, and I guess you sort of justified this by it not being, made by Dua or Alexandria or Noted Aromas or whatever. It actually has its own presentation, and
that is the one where the box is
very close.
The interlude box, isn't it? It's like
it's a piss take. It really is. Yeah. And there's no disguising it. It is just in. I mean, we can chuck it out if you want, because it's only 14 quid.
No.
Keep going. I mean, even if you chuck it out, you still got 5 perfumes left. Or did you say you had 5? 4. Okay.
Three left. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to your next one. I'm surprised so far that we haven't had. By the way,
can I just make one comment on? Sorry to interrupt, but can I just make one comment on the clones thing? I would never encourage any noob, right? And you might have different opinions on this, but I would never encourage any noob to get clones. Now, you might say, no, clones are a really good way of them sampling, and then if they decide to get more into perfume, I'm that against them, really, that I would just be like, no. I couldn't bring myself even just to put it in front of them and go, oh yeah, there's actually another version of this that's well more expensive, because they might turn around and go, oh, I'm just happy with this, and I'd be like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I couldn't. It's just a principle.
I know, and I'm, to be honest, I'm quite different about clones. I'm far less militant about them than I used to be, and I think particularly Creed and their Aventus, it's just greed, really. It's just massive corporate greed is I mean, that's driving the market. I think it would be very bad form to clone something where the perfumer was getting proper recognition for the perfume and getting paid, and it was a small brand and their livelihood depended on it. But where you've got big corporates sort of essentially just taking the absolute fucking piss out of their consumers, I don't care.
I get that as well. I do get that.
So, but okay, so you got your Chez Noir and your Ardal Saffron interlude clone, not clone, but definitely clone. What else have you got?
Definitely clone. So then after that, I thought, right, need something classy, because Chez Noir's kind of classy, but it's not. It's not. It's still a bit sort of cash, right?
It's so quite casual. I agree.
Yeah, I thought I need something quite classy and, suit and tie kind of vibe. So I went with Hermes Eau de Mauvais, which you can get for 50 quid on eBay. And I thought that's a banging price for 100 ml of, like a great sort of clean, classy, crisp perfume. It is, if you were wearing a suit for some sort of thing, like you could wear Eau de Mauvais and it would pull it off easy, And
a gorgeous bottle as well.
Yeah.
Stunning bottle.
And that actually did come into all. I wanted them to have like an attractive kind of collection at the end of it.
It's all part of the collection, isn't it? So that's part of what it's about. So you got to have one in there that's at least a nice looking bottle.
I think it's got it also works as like, it's clean and classy and for those sort of occasions, but I think also it does work as like a kind of just chuck on in the summer with your shorts and flip flops. Like it's got a kind of duality to it. It works well enough.
Nice,
but that's just that classy Hermes, isn't it? Like kind of vibe.
Very good call.
So that was my third. And then I thought, right, we need a leather in there, right? But again, this one almost does 2 in 1. So I went with, I don't know if I'm going to get kicked out now, Gallivant London, but the roll-on, because the roll-on was only £15.
Oh, wow,
no, that's fine.
That counts, doesn't it?
And so Gallivant London is a crisp, clean, like horse saddle leather, but it's also a big geranium. And so I thought that kills like 2 birds with 1 stone, because I think you need to have a nice geranium in your collection, and I think you need to have a nice leather. So why not just do them at the same time and have a geranium and leather perfume? and it's really good, and it's a little bit stinky, and it's a little bit risky, it's a little bit pushy, but it's still very clean as a leather. You know, it definitely smells like, you know, polished leather, and it's a little bit testy, but not enough to put anyone off, you know. So it's still testy. I think it's
testy,
you know,
as in singular of testicle.
Testes.
No. Not thumbs up. I don't know where that's come from. No, like testy as in like...
It's when you lie, you meant yes.
No.
We can see your thoughts.
It's the leather is not too bold, but it's not boring either. It's quite in your face and up front. You know, so it's kind of straddles that nice line between like, it's not hard leather, you know, Mason Mazzoni or whatever it is. Lauren
Mazzone.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. It's still a crisp, clean leather that most people would like, but it's leather. Do you know what I mean? There's no, it's not beating around the bush. So I thought I'd go with that one, and I thought that was a nice. I thought that kind of hit a couple of like birds with one stone. Plus, it was a bit pushy as well. I quite like that.
Nice.
So yeah, and then at this point, I've basically spent £100, right? And I thought I'm gonna like
finish with a big one
on a big one, yeah. And so I'm not that happy with this. So I wanted Lune Feline by Atelier d'Or, but it's way too expensive. It's way too expensive. So I settled with Vanilla Diorama, 40ml,
40 ml.
Yeah,
that's all right.
And the reason I went with it is because I wanted something rich and luxurious and expensive smelling.
Yep.
And I hadn't really had like a vanilla in here yet, and I thought that works with that. But also, it is just a good perfume. Like, I really like it. Yeah. I think it does a really good job of being like a sweet, rich, luxurious vanilla, but at the same time being quite interesting as well with that orange, like in the top and stuff like that. And it's quite dark, and I thought it was like a good, like true kind of niche smelling niche for a muggle that, you know, it doesn't go too far off the deep end, but it smells rich, it smells luxurious, it smells big. It's got some balls, you know what I mean? It's got some girth. And so that was what I kind of spuffed my £100 on. Yeah. So that was my 5.
Balls, girth.
Nice.
Yeah. Very, very heavy on the genitalia reference. Excellent. I think that's a pretty solid list. I have to say, I've got none of them in my list, and although I considered a lot of perfumes, not one of them actually came up. Although I feel bad for not thinking of Chien Noir, because that is a really fucking inspired call, I think. So yeah, no, cool, very cool. All right, James. I feel, James, like, I was talking, that's weirdly, I was talking to my mum about this earlier, and she said, do you think you'll have the same perfumes as anyone else? And I said, I think there's one perfume that at least one other person will have, and it's probably James, but it might be Fliss. I might be wrong entirely, but I'm very keen.
We're going to find out.
We'll find out.
Come on then, James.
Okay. So my first one, I kind of almost, I don't regret picking it, but it's my most expensive one. It was $64.95.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
And I don't even know if it was the most, I just Googled it and went, okay. Because I'd somehow, when this came up and I thought about a kind of muggle person, you know, who were just getting it for, I thought, they need an Aqua de Parma. Right?
Really?
Nobody really needs an Aqua de Parma.
Nobody needs an Aqua de Parma.
No, but they are pretty good. I mean, the standard sort of like line, I think they're pretty good for like a fresh sort of cologne. And I also thought about, I don't want to massively challenge them, which I don't know if that's a cool thing.
No, I think it is.
Perfume person to say. I want them to be able to wear it and enjoy it and whatever. And one of my mates, the last couple of times that I've seen him, I've given him a hug and I've gone, oh my God, you smell great. And he'll be like, yeah, I'm wearing Aqua de Parma Essenza. So that's what it was. which is the black one. And it's very good. And I just thought that's an everyman sort of deal. I got it from My Origins, which is one of those things online. 50 mil for $64.95. And I thought, I don't even know if that's a good price, but fine, I'll do that. Is that not a good price now?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think My Origins normally is quite good prices.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
My 8-year-old nephew loves that perfume.
Really?
And but he was like about 5 years old when he liked it. He was really into it. And my sister almost bought it for him.
I can't tell whether you're insulting James or not, Ben.
No, I was just shocked that he liked it so much.
It's the fucking 5-year-olds, mate.
No, I was seriously impressed that he liked it. I was like, wow, okay.
They are very elegant, and they are nice. And the Essenza one actually is quite durable as they go. I mean, most of them are not.
For a cologne type fragrance, it's hugely powerful, and it's got all that white floral, neroli business and petitgrain and whatever. Yeah.
No, I think
it's very good.
It's a good
and you could do a lot worse.
Did you start with that one and then sort of build the other?
Yeah, I did.
Because I had a very similar approach initially, and I'll just tell you one of them because it didn't eventually make the list, but I had exactly the same sort of thought process. Start with something that is going to be super versatile and can be worn all the time, spend a good chunk of money on that, and then work around it. And I went for the Guerlain Vetiver.
Of course, nice.
Yeah, which I thought was a really good sort of like, bosh, here's where we start. And it could equally have been ADB Essenza. But
mine could have easily been Vetiver, to be honest. It did sort of cross my mind, because also I kind of thought a noob, despite what I kind of said slightly disparaging things about Guerlain earlier, I still do love Guerlain, and I think everyone needs Guerlain in their collection. If you're going to start getting into perfumes, you need to understand the importance of Guerlain to the perfume landscape.
I'm really kicking myself now Dan said that, because I thought exactly that, James. I was like, I should probably get at least one Guerlain in here, right, for someone who's like but I immediately went to like Samsara and stuff like that, and then that put me off. But I didn't even think of like something like Vetiver, which
I think because there's a you feel obliged to sort of educate other people about what's kind of out there, and I think having a Guerlain in there, I bet Fliss has got a Guerlain in hers, hasn't she?
Really?
No, haven't. Actually, how the fuck did you get 8 or 9? There's no way bought a Guerlain. I don't think.
Well, I nearly did, because you can get Shalimar ETTs for $39.80, but I took it out because there's another one that I decided it was doing. I had a couple of things that doing the same thing, so I took the Shalimar out.
Oh, okay.
But I did for a while. Have a Shalimar ETT in.
Cool. Okay. So the next one, I chose Eccentric Molecules Molecule 01. It's a 30ml bottle. This was with 15% off from Cult Beauty. It was $38.25, but with an additional 15% off, because they were running that for a first purchase. And if I had have actually purchased from there, I would have got the 15% off. So 30ml for about 20 something quid, pretty good. And it's one of those where either they could layer it underneath other stuff, which I don't do, but you could do. You could also just wear it as it is. It's obviously got the molecule story behind it. There's a show, and they could look into that approach to perfumery, that sort of modular kind of approach. Starts to teach them about materials. I thought, good price for 30ml of that. And if it's, not really their bag, or they want more interesting things, then fine. Now, you could say, you could just get one of these that someone's just knocked up a bit of ISO Super in a bottle and get something really cheap off the internet.
It's not
but it's not the same, because it's ISO Gamma Super that's in the Molecule 01, and no fucker can get that apart from,
Is that that's a captive molecule, isn't it?
Captive molecule. I don't know how much longer it will be, but it is at the moment. And guarantee, take it from me, it smells different to ISO Super, right?
Yeah.
There is a marked difference. I get a kind of almost like a bergamot. It's got top notes. It's way more. it's way more complex to me than ISOE Super, but essentially I get
better.
Yeah, it's just better, and it's a slight tweak. It's a different isomer of the same thing, but it's just better. And no wonder it was a standalone thing, because if it had been ISOE Super, I don't think it would have been as popular as it was anyway. So I think that's a good thing to get them. They could even layer it under the Essenza and make some massive white floral citrus thing that lasts for fucking ages.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And all my muggle mates love that as well. Like,
Yeah.
so
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They think it's some kind of like magic, almost like that thing we were talking about with the fucking pheromones. They kind of get that effect from it, you know.
Well, the way it's written about, the way it was written about when it first came out, they wrote about it as if it was like a pheromone, even though it's fucking not. It certainly had that. That was the cachet story behind it.
Pheromone.
I remember.
Pheromone.
Yes. Oh, it's just you, but better.
I found another pheromone thing the other day, and it's really annoying. Did I send it to you guys? They were walking around the streets of Liverpool.
Yeah, you did.
I won't say it. Some wanker just going, and the whole page is that.
Yeah.
All right, like, you know, sort of 50-something ladies on a hen do with like inflatable cocks. What do you think of the smell of this? And then what do you think of the smell of this on fucking Matthew Street in Liverpool? And they're like, yeah, they're good. Yeah, sound.
It's fucking dead.
Is this what it's come to? Is this what it's come to? You know,
Fucking dead. Good up, mate. I've got the inflatable cock. I think, by the way, Molecular One is a really inspired choice.
Yeah.
Again, not one that I'd even thought of, but I think a really cool, because it's a cool perfume, isn't it? I mean, it's like,
it is cool.
It's easy and high streety and accessible, but it's also kind of très avant-garde and fucking
feels ultra modern as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Really good shout.
You know, it's been out for bloody years.
Yeah.
It still feels modern. It does, doesn't it?
I think at the end of this, by the way, I want to publish all our lists, but then I also want to publish like a sort of a list of lists, you know, almost like a sort of, okay, now we've got all the fucking cards on the table. Let's build the ultimate list.
The ultimate list.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. What's next?
So then Theophenol scent.
Yes. Yeah. It's on mine too.
I thought about...
Isn't that about £4,000 now, though? Since Fliss's fucking...
Since she pumped it. She pumped it. Pumped it and dumped it.
I've pumped it and dumped it. I found several EDTs for 20 quid.
Okay.
I found one for $14.95.
Oh, there you go. You see, it's still out there.
Staff Shops Cosmetics, if anyone wants to know, if they want to pay us, you know, 50ml EDT, $14.95.
But it's the EDTs that are readily available now. It's much, much harder to come by an EDP. I've got both, and to be honest with you, there's very little in it. The EDT is a bit fresher, it's a bit easier to wear. But yeah, the EDPs are much harder to find for less than 50 quid at the moment.
Sure. Well, so obviously that's a great perfume. I did think about other things like that. So I thought about, the Estee Lauder, like Youth Dew, and
I had those on my list too.
Because they're
and
nice.
Then I took them off. I took off Estee Lauder Youth Dew and also Clinique Aromatics Elixir.
Elixir, me too. Right.
In favour of the Theophenol scent, because I think it's more interesting. But I had those two on for a long time.
We are so in sync, because that's exactly what I did, and because they essentially cover broadly. They don't smell like each other, but they broadly cover.
They cover the same feel. You'd wear them at the same time. Yeah,
absolutely.
So interesting, because I thought of you as I put the aromatics on. And I took the aromatics off, and I thought, I'm going to put Theophenol. I was like, but I knew that you would be doing the same. So
yeah. So there you go. And I think, as far as, again, to educate somebody, this might be like, whoa. If someone tried this, they'd be like, either it smells really old, it smells really old school, blah, blah, blah. And it almost gives them, because we were essentially buying new perfumes here, it gives them a vintage, a sense of what a vintage perfume might be. So that kind of covers that vintage angle of the collection, I figured. So yeah, $14.95 for
it's a bargain.
50 ml of an EDT.
I'm adjusting my spreadsheet. If I can get it for $14.95, I've got some spare change.
Cool. So
God,
anyway,
9 bottles.
Wow, look at that! Adjusting it now. You can't do it on the fly. Of
course I bloody
can. You can. I don't make the rules. Dan makes the rules.
Yeah, I just make them up. They're completely fucking arbitrary, by the way. But yeah.
So anyway, then I went for a brand that I've kind of bigged up on here and talked about because I think they're brilliant. I think they're like a kind of budget Frederick Malle in a sense, but with all the class, and they've got all the sustainability and they've got all the transparency, and they use real perfumers and all that, but they are very cheap. So I got Essential Parfums. I don't know if you remember Essential Parfums. I used to go on about the musk. So all their 100ml bottles are 60 quid. Now, I didn't get one of those. I got 2 10ml, so they're €21 each. And I got 2 10mls. I chose Orange times Santal, which is kind of almost Santal 33. It's got that papyrus sandalwood, which I don't particularly like myself, but it's a cultural zeitgeist fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? Everyone likes that. So I kind of thought you need a bit of a taste of that. But it has this orange top note to it. Clever, nice little twist on it, and it's not as irritating as a Santal 33, and it's extremely powerful and all that stuff, and very good, and the orange note lasts for ages, so really good. So I thought, yeah, I'll pick that one, and I also picked the musk, which is perhaps one of the most lovely rose musky, beautiful perfumes with like this honey thing to it.
Ooh,
gorgeous.
I am sighing. Because, again, I didn't even think of Essential Parfums, and I think they are such a quality brand. Although I have to, fucking Bois Imperial does my absolute fucking head in. Someone asked the other day what it's like, and I said it's like a dentist's drill. It's high-pitched, metallic, and irritating.
Very much so, and that's why I didn't pick that one.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I didn't pick the shit one.
I don't say it's shit. I just say it does. That is a vibe, and if someone likes that, then fine. But yeah, I couldn't live with it.
You may have noticed me sort of staggering around looking in my cupboard, but I was looking for my Theophenol, which I haven't sprayed in some time, so I'm now respraying that.
Nice.
Oh,
so anyway, good. So that was those 2. So 2 little 10mls, that gives them a taster of the brand. They can make the decision for themselves to go, I want to investigate this brand further, and they wouldn't have to break the bank in order to be able to own, quite a few of those. So good brand to point them in the direction of. Then the last one was a bit of a weird one, but it was $38.97 from All Beauty, a 50ml EDT of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women.
Wow.
Okay.
I love that perfume.
I know it.
I love
probably
that perfume.
I think probably smelt it in the street on women.
You will have done.
Yeah. I
think it's gorgeous, right? It's just a citrus musk perfume, but it's lovely. It's really wearable. And I think, again, it gives a different angle to the Essenza, albeit, equally as kind of, it's not, blowing anyone's fucking mind. But I think it's very good, and for $38.95 for a 50ml is perfectly reasonable. So that was my 6 perfumes.
Amazing. That is quite. I mean, I can't really comment on the D&G one, but I feel like certainly the rest of that list is very, very effective indeed. I was totally wrong. You didn't have either of the ones that are on my list that I thought you might, so that's interesting. Okay, cool.
Wow, I want to know what they are now.
Fliss, which list are you going to give us? Is it the 8 or the 9? 1 or 7? How many have you got?
I'll give you 1,
Which friend
2,
do you
3,
prefer?
4, 5, 6, 7. Well, no, I mean, I'll probably I'll do it and then I'll just go. And if you could also just do this instead. Okay, so the first thing that I picked, and it was like my immediate first thing that came to my head when we started the game.
Was it polo sport for men?
Oh, God. No. Just way to put a girl off a stride. That's bad. That's mean tactics. No. There's not a... no, I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
No, please don't.
Don't be so dirty. Don't.
Oh, come on, please.
Say it.
No.
There was not a dry something in the house, I think.
I know. Yeah, no, I've stopped. Previous listeners will understand what I'm talking about and will be able to fill in the gaps. Amazing.
Please do not fill in any gaps.
Well, they won't be able to if there's sport in the house, will they? Just jamming it in.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, you can't fucking help yourself, can you? You are the fucking...
I'm filth. I'm sorry.
Absolute. Yeah.
Goodness me, I'm blushing at my own joke now. Anyway, should we get on with my list? Which is very much more sedate.
Yeah, good.
The first thing that I thought about was Paul Smith Rose.
Oh, nice. Was that on your list?
Yeah.
You say this...
That's the very first thing I thought about. It's top of my list. I just think it's...
So it is actually on your list, because, the first thing I thought of never even made, the third iteration of the list. But, yeah, cool. It's spectacular, isn't it?
It's gone up in price.
Has it?
Oh, my God. It's a spectacular rose soliflor. It's so easy to wear. It's not too jammy. It's not too sweet. It's not too green. It's just... fucking good. I don't understand why more people don't love it. And whenever I send anybody a little sample, they all go, fucking hell, that's nice. It used to be $19.99, and the cheapest I can find it now is at Beauty Scent for £28 for 30ml.
What?
But it used to regularly be...
It used to be about 20 quid for 100ml, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100ml, 28. So it used to be 20 quid for 100ml, and I could get 100ml now for £28.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 30ml for £28.
No.
Okay, right, cool. Yeah, I think it's lovely. It is quite feminine.
My whole list is really femme.
Okay.
I'm going to say that right now.
It's for two women, isn't it, that you had in mind?
Yeah, so it's kind of, and it's also stuff that I've, like I said, it's in my collection or has been in my collection. So it's kind of...
Well, it's a very nice one.
It's going to be femme. Yeah. And I really love that. And I just think it's classy day wear. You can wear it to the office. You can wear whatever. It's just delicious. Second one, Oderants, which is a really lovely lime citrus freshie with a lovely oak moss base. It's quite, it comes in quite a large bottle, 75ml, 30 quid. And it's just a really lovely summery or fresh wear when you want to just come out of the gym or that kind of thing. I also nearly put in Elizabeth Arden's green tea at this point, which you can... It's a really early Francis Kirk-Jeanne, and you can get 100ml for 17 quid. Yeah. But the Oderants one, because I just think it's a little, with the oak moss in the bottom, it's a bit more complex. So it does a bit more.
The green tea, I know. Oderants, I don't think I do. But it sounds good. Sounds like a winner.
Just a good, solid, citrus, freshy, nice thing. Then I did the only thing that you have to hunt a little bit for, but it's a Chanel No. 5, but it's the cologne version. And one went on eBay sealed for 35 quid this morning, and another one went last night for 27. I put it down as costing 40 just in case. But it gives you all of that sophistication of Chanel No. 5 without, it's not as heavy, and it doesn't feel as old school. It just feels as a slightly smokier base. Feels, even though it's a discontinued version, it actually feels slightly more modern to me, and I wear it. I really enjoy wearing it. And again, it's a good daytime.
Is that the one you mentioned earlier that you said was discontinued?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that your only sort of potentially difficult to find one then?
Yeah, and it's not that hard to find on eBay, to be honest. But it would have to be on eBay or Vinted. You're not going to find it in any of the outlet shops that all of the others can be found on.
Yeah. So basically you cheated. So You're disqualified.
Not really, did I?
Get out.
Oh,
Get out.
I'll tell you what, shall I finish my list? And then I can
No, just leave now, I think. Yeah, go on. What's next? A stinker.
Yeah, Theophenol scent.
So, you and James both have that.
I just think it gives that lovely vintage feel, but it's just proper good. And for 15 quid, if they don't like it, you haven't wasted a load of money, have you? It's, I think it's a really useful part of a collection to have.
I just resprayed that because I was hunting around for it. It's quite sweaty and
so sweaty,
like just filthy, and
it really is
good. Yeah,
and it dries down to lovely powder after a while as well. But that initial skanky, it is skanky as, and it smells like a proper niche frag. It smells like something like Francesca Bianchi would happily just, or Liz Moore's a Papillon has got, what's hers, the one that's very, very similar. Salome, so similar. But you put them next to each other and you just think, wow, really close.
It's by Lord Damiel, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Mad.
I think it's much better. Like, I do like Salome, and I think Salome, but like you're saying about that Under My Skin one, I do like some of the Francesca Bianchi's, but I found that to be the least sort of less polished than some of the other ones, to be honest. And I got like, there's this material, and it just annoys me. Sorry to butt in with this. I should have said it before when we were actually talking about that, but. It basically, it's like this synthetic civet material that you can get, which is great because it's not real civet, and it's a bit harsh, real civet, but it doesn't smell like real civet either. It smells like this civet replacer, and that's all I can smell in the bottom of it. And I'm like, that's not very good perfumery, if you ask me. If you can smell that material, but. I get,
but that one's not on my list.
No, I know. Sorry, I'm just saying because obviously you said it before, and I'm just making the point that I think that I'm saying that Theophenol is a better choice. I would say it's a more refined fragrance because I don't feel that hers do that. I think hers just kind of sink like a stone and get really heavy, whereas like Theophenol starts like, oh, it's going to be like that, and then it just gets like opens out, and I think that's where indies struggle to do that. And trained perfumers are able to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think for £15 you can go out and you can buy a really impressive Christophe Laudamiel perfume. I think you should just go and fucking do it. It's an absolute no-brainer, isn't it? 15 quid.
What I love about it as well is that when we interviewed him, he was kind of a bit like, oh yeah, I did that sort of thing. Like,
it was like really kind of forgotten what it smelled like.
He's like, oh yeah, because we were going, oh wow, like proper like waxing lyrical about it, going, oh it's amazing, and all this, and he was kind of like, like thinking, shit, I'll have to like dig that out.
I think I remember what I did. Yeah,
brilliant.
Then I have got 100 mils of Habanita cologne.
Oh, nice.
For 30 quid. Yeah, and I'm the cologne because I love the straight Habanita. I really love it. It smells very. It's the thing I took Shalimar off my list for because I think it does a very similar job to Shalimar, but it's actually easier to wear and it's slightly more floral and it still smells old school, but it's got a lovely smokiness to it in a different way. And the cologne is very bright and almost fizzy. And you can wear the cologne in the summer and you can also wear the cologne in the winter. Whereas I think the straight Habanita it's a cold weather perfume. You can't be switching that shit.
So
up.
what did you pick? Sorry, is this a flanker of Habanita, a different one?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah. It comes in a clear bottle.
Cologne.
It's just called Habanita Cologne.
And it's still got those little figures on it.
It's beautiful. It's exactly the same bottle, but it's clear. It's almost prettier.
The Habanita bottles are fucking magic.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
I'll just say that I did nearly pick that because it's one, is wonderful value. Two, it's that whole like perfume education thing, the all that stuff and the niche and vintage and whatever. Also, it's got a fantastic bottle, so like that's another tick. And just so I was looking at those and that nearly made the list.
Yeah, and the Habanita you can get for about 45. The cologne you can find cheaper. Right. I found it on Perfumes Delivered for 30, which is ridiculous. Then I've got Eau de Bao.
Yes!
100.
Yes!
It's like Battleships. Is that one you've got as well?
It's like Battleships.
That's the one that I thought that you might have, James, but it's on my list, yeah.
I found 100ml at Beauty Lounge for £35.
Wow.
Let me see if I did any.
And I just think...
Let me see if I did any better than that. £33.05 from Perfumes Club.
There you go, you see? But I just think it for a spicy vanilla for 35... I mean, it's the phenomenal quality for something that is... I mean, I want to say inoffensive, but it's actually better than inoffensive. It's delicious.
It's fucking brilliant. I mean, it
is brilliant.
It's exceptional value for money. It smells brilliant. It's got incredible performance. It's just a fucking stupendously good perfume. In all respects.
When I say inoffensive, I just meant in terms of I can't imagine anybody smelling it and going, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Oh, right, yeah.
Whereas they might with the scent.
Oh God, yeah.
But I just think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the fence about the theophenol right at this particular minute. Set
an alarm, wake yourself up at about like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it will be different.
But you said you woke up in the morning sniffing your arm when you first wore it, and you were like, "What's that amazing smell?"
Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Ta-da! Yeah, no,
Ta-da!
That's okay. So we're up to 3, 4, 5, 6,
and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I've got 22 quid left, and you can choose between. Because I haven't got a big tuberose on there.
Thank fuck.
Moroccan tuberose by Aluminum, which is at 20 quid for 100ml, or Farrell Girl for 20 quid.
Those aluminum perfumes are at 20 quid.
Are they still in production?
Website,
outrageously expensive when they first came out. Were they not?
I know, they were outrageously expensive. There's the Moroccan tuberose is part of the what they call their archived line, and all of their archived line is selling from between 18 and £27, depending on which one you find.
Because they were in like Harrods and fucking everywhere, weren't they? They were like proper
they really were.
high-end.
Yeah.
Well,
so you can either have a big bubblegummy tuberose,
no thanks,
or you can have Farrell Girl.
Well, Farrell Girl.
I don't mind which one.
It's easy.
Yeah, there you
Farrell
go.
Girl. I considered Farrell Girl actually at various points, but it never quite made the list. Okay, great. Well, so let's do mine then. So I started. I said I started with Guerlain Vetiver, and then I thought, do you know what? Let's switch that out, and I ended up with Bleu de Chanel because I thought,
Whoa.
Well, not because I love it, but because I thought, well, you just need a perfume that you can wear every day. And then I thought, no, fuck it, I can do better than that. So my everyday perfume, I found 30 ml of Nicolai New York Intense for £56 from F Moda.
Nice.
Good.
And I just thought, yeah, you've got to have a fucking bit of that. That's a great, everyday perfume.
It's a lovely range that she does as well.
Yeah, but that one is great. And
That's your special one,
a lot of the others I think I could take or leave. But
yeah, I agree. I think there's some horrors in that line. As much as I love that brand and I do like the story and I like her and I think she's a very good perfumer, just some of them. And I hate the fact that I don't like them. And I own 6 of them, maybe 6 bottles. So I'm a fan of the brand, don't get me wrong. But some of them I find unwearable.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't be dealing with it. What was I going to say? Oh, did you think, was you thinking behind the Bleu de Chanel that this muggle could start up an Instagram and just post that every day and get like thousands of fucking views? Imagine they
call himself an influencer.
Yeah, post the same
just
bottle
piss
every
me
day.
off. Just to piss me off. They fucking probably have like 100,000 followers in 6 months. And I sort of I ummed and ahed a bit about like classics and alternatives and various other things like Eau Sauvage and Fahrenheit and Terre d'Hermès and all those other sort of things. They sort of all got briefly considered. But I
quite hard to get under budget with those, though, wouldn't you?
Well, it is, and I just thought, even if they're, not into perfume, the odds are they fucking tried those perfumes at some point before, right? So it's like I'm not really showing anyone anything interesting and new. So I've got my. New York Intense. I also did the Eau de Bao, which I thought, okay, so I've got my sort of office daytime wears. I need an evening scent, date night type scent. And then I sort of reproduced it. I sort of thought, well, how about a daytime perfume and a nighttime perfume, but let's just go a bit more mental than those, because I think they're both quite conservative, right? The New York Intense and the Eau de Bao, lovely but conservative. So Santa Maria Novella Melograno, which you can get 50 ml for £72 from Nose, and I was like, good, that's going in the collection, right? So that's my sort of universal day wear kind of perfume. And then I thought I need something beastie. And I mentioned at the beginning about the Boulder Serini one. And I'd been looking for an amber or a leather or something just with a bit of to it. And I settled on Kiehl's Musk.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Kiehl's Musk for £40.80 off Essential for 50 ml. So that's my 4. It's New York Intense, Eau de Bao, Melograno, Santa Maria Novella Melograno, and the Kiehl's Musk. And I can just about do that for it's like £202.
That's a great list,
excluding shipping.
List. That is a great list.
And mine comes to 98, so you can have my 2.
Excellent. Well, so I went for a smaller number, but I wanted each one to be a fucking stone cold banger. And I think I got there.
I think you did.
Yeah. So I was surprised not to see Eau de Bao on your list, James.
I
thought that would be a gimme for you.
Like I say, I thought about it because in a sense, the only one that I've got on my list was Theophenol. All the others I don't own, even though I was going on about I think it was almost kind of exercise for me to be like, what would I do sort of outside of my collection, because I don't it sort of want to, not that is pushing your own taste on people, because that's the whole point, that you're supposed to be the kind of consultant or whatever who's
the arbiter
together. Well, exactly, yeah. But in a nice way, like where you kind of, this is what I'm kind of into, but I'm into so many things that I don't even own, and I'm always like, I should have bought that, or I thought about buying that years ago and just never did, and then you don't, do you? Or Dan does, and then sells it again and then buys it again.
Of course, yeah. But it's you've got to buy and sell it at least half a dozen times. Otherwise, did you ever own it?
Otherwise, are you even a collector?
Well, exactly.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so I think I think it's been a really interesting exercise. I don't mean to wrap things up too quickly, but I think it's Dan. Are you going to wrap things up? Okay, cool.
No, not yet. Not yet. No, I've got a few more.
Okay.
Are we gonna make a mega list?
I'm wondering. See, I think it's.
Do we need to go away and have a think about it? I think
needs
a spreadsheet, definitely.
But I feel...
Well, no, because I've already got mine open, so I can just copy and paste things across. It'll be really fast.
We can do it now.
I feel like Fliss's list obviously is quite feminine leaning. Mine, I would say, is pretty... I suppose it could be unisex, with the exception of New York Intense is quite sort of archetypal man kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know whether we should make a mega list for one male, one female, or whether we should just make one mega kind of ungendered list. But I mean, let's do that after the show. I'm sort of interested in what you threw out as well. What didn't make the cut. I mean, Ben, what about you?
So I threw out Theo Fennell.
Really?
Oh, wow, did you?
And that was when I was saying earlier about there being a big hole in my list, it was like a floral. There's not really a big floral in my list. And I wanted Theo Fennell. But the reason I threw it out was that I thought it was just a bit too much for someone who was like, especially I also had like male in mind as well, I think. And obviously we all wear Theo Fennell and we're all fine with it, but I'm not sure your average muggle would be so fine with that. Your average male muggle would be fine with like throwing on a bit of Theo Fennell, and it might be a little bit too fabulous. I don't know. So I sort of lobbed it out, but that was one of the first ones I thought of as well, just because of the price.
Yeah,
and it's so good, and for such a cheap price, it almost seems like rude not to. Do you know? But yeah, that was one of the ones I threw out. One of the first ones I threw out.
What was your most expensive one, Ben? It was your
Dior Vanilla Diorama.
I think, just looking at everyone's lists, I think that's the most expensive one out that anyone's chosen. Because it's about £100, right?
Yeah, and that was always the way I was going to do it. I was going to have like one that was going to be, £100 and, be a bit of a boomer,
Can we just applaud Fliss for getting 600 fucking mils of perfume? Because like volume, wow, that's unbelievable, isn't it? So as far as like if it was a competition, which it sort of
it's not quite 600. It's like it's I think it's like 500.
Yeah, but it's still twice as much as any of ours in terms of volume. So I know that
you've got like seven bottles there, Fliss. I mean, that is fucking wild. It is wild, right? If you think about the amount of money we've all fucking pissed up the wall on perfume, that you can build a collection of 7 really great and interesting perfumes for £200, right? Getting 600 mil, in theory, you could just fucking hand that over to someone and say, right, go for it, mate. That is your fucking introduction to perfume. And you see the influencers doing top 10 fragrances for life, and they're always kind of pretty generic twaddle or whatever they're being paid to fucking push these days. That Soldier Boy was 10 fragrances for life. Soldier Boy, my 35% off whatever code for which I get $100 or something mental. But that is a really nice list.
Soldier Boy.
Oh, S-Boy, Draco S-Boy. You've not seen this?
No.
Oh, God. Okay.
You'll be better off not knowing about it.
You probably are better off not knowing about it. So I'll have to get my numbers right. So Draco is the brand, I think. S-Boy is the perfume, and it's like £270 or something mental, right?
Is it Soldier Boy the rapper?
Yeah, I think that's what S-Boy is. Right. But
he
it's
did that
mentally
Superman
expensive.
tune.
Did he? Well, I'm sure it was great.
If it's that guy, it's rubbish.
But
it was like a dance craze, I think.
It is a. They sent me a bottle to review it,
Right.
and they said, "Would you like a discount code to share with your followers?" And I said, "No, thanks," because it's just so fucking obvious. I said, "But what I will do is promise to give it an honest review." And they said, "Okay, all right." You could tell they'd already committed to sending it to me, so they followed through, and I thought it was a perfectly pleasant perfume. It's sort of it. From memory, it was in the spirit of the Jean-Paul Gaultier. It's the one they recently really released, the double something, whatever. I forget what it's called.
Right.
A 2. I think it's just called 2, JPG 2 or something.
Oh, that one,
anyway,
yeah.
It's pleasant.
The one that you found in a drawer,
right?
or your mate found in a drawer or something.
Yes, exactly. That's the one. Yeah, it was sort of in that sort of spirit, right? Nice. Designer, straightforward, inoffensive, definitely not worth 270 quid or whatever it is. But what they do is they offer a $35 discount code, right? So every time you see an influencer saying, "Here's my $35 discount code," they are paying that influencer $35 on top for every single sale, which is why it regularly makes top 10 lists for life with all these big influencers, right? $35 a sale. And by the way, when someone like Curly Fragrance lists something like that, she can move serious fucking units because, whether you like her or dislike her, right, she has got massive fucking influence in the market. And so when she says you can get $35 off and she makes $35 for each one, she can sell fucking hundreds, thousands of units that way and make an absolute fortune. So whether whatever you think about it,
the world is a terrible
that's
place.
The sort of
That's what I think about it.
They're selling.
Yeah, the world. I can't quite remember. Oh, that's how we got onto the S-Boy, because I was talking about top 10 lists for life, and that's why it's always so popular. But I think Fliss's list is very wholesome.
It isn't it though? I'm not making any money here, am I?
No.
As far as Soulja Boy is concerned, I think, in the words of the original gangster, Ice-T, he said, "Your music's garbage and you're a cunt." I'm just sort of paraphrasing.
Wow.
But yeah, that's pretty much what he said about him when that rubbish song came out. And then everyone's going, "Oh, why are you hating on like a young, kid just trying to come up and stuff?" And all this, and it was like, no, I agree. I agree with the OG. Fuck that noise, literally.
Fuck all that noise.
He also said, "Grab a gat and I'll bury you."
Yeah, he said some fucking very cool
Pretty
things.
wise shit,
I might actually. Do you know what? I am going to watch a movie tonight. After this, I am going to rewatch New Jack City.
Great.
What a fucking movie! Just on the Ice-T thing. So my point, by the way, was not to actually particularly criticise the Draco perfume, because my very honest review of it was that it smells quite nice and it's way too expensive for what it is. It's certainly not a perfume that you smell and go, "Oh my god, that's disgusting," because why would it be? It's kind of designed to be mass appealing. Right. So, but my point, I guess, about the lists was we're always subjected to these top 10 fucking throw away all your perfumes, keep 10 niche for life or whatever, and they're usually just riddled with kind of like things they're getting paid to.
Things that haven't been out for very long.
Top 10 list for life. This just came out last week. It's the best thing ever.
Yes.
Here's my discount code. Yeah. But I like all the lists.
Brand, you can do that with us, but we'll just go, "It's shit. Here's your discount."
You can buy this shit for 10% off. The one that I'm least happy with on all of this list, I think, is Ben's Ardal Saffron. I know it was only £14, but I just think if you want interlude, get interlude. It is.
See, I think the opposite though. So that's the thing, right? So here's my logic behind it. Then there was an element of thought behind it, not just, hey, fuck, this is cheap. Is that I don't think as a muggle saying just get interlude is a good way for them to spend their money.
Oh, no. I would agree. I think if you are new into perfume and you're not sure what you want,
it's a big gamble. That
I would not chance a blind buy on interlude, right? Because I mean, whether you might find you love it, and indeed I do, but it's a lot of money for a fucking blind gamble. I would definitely advise trying that one before you commit.
Or just buy out as a front, because it's literally the same.
Yes, you could do that, I suppose. What else grabs me? I still think the Molecular One by James is fucking inspired. It's such a sort of it's such an interesting example of perfume for so many reasons.
How much did you get it for again?
£38.25.
Oh, there you go.
I wrote it down. I wrote all this shit down.
Wow.
It's only a 30 mil, by the way. It's only 30 mils.
Yeah. It's fine.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, it always amazed me how well known that perfume is as well. Like, a lot of my muggle friends know it and talk about it. Like, have asked me about it and stuff. And I'm like, why the fuck did you hear about it? It's not the sort of thing that's in the...
It used to be, and when it came out, there was still a huge magazine culture. It wasn't like Insta. There was a magazine culture, and it was in every single magazine. I remember,
right.
Vogue, Marie Claire, all of it. It was really pushed. And you could buy it in the airports as well, in the airport magazines when you were flying. So it was definitely up there as a cool new release. Very, very much so.
They look...
I didn't realise that at all. I didn't realise it was so...
No.
In the mainstream.
Nor did I. But I think they look very cool and minimal and sort of, It's certainly... if I didn't already know what they smelt like kind of thing and I saw them on a display, I'd think, I want to try that. That looks cool. But I think that's great.
But you'd also kind of know what it does smell like as well, though, because of the way I think the branding is so on point with that brand. Basically, it looks modern. It looks like a modern painting on the bottle. You can tell that it's going to be cool. Even if you don't like it, it's going to be cool. That much.
What else? Did you throw any out, James?
Not really, because I didn't.
You just sort of wrote it down in a wanna.
Yeah,
boom.
Pretty much. It's not because I didn't want to engage further with the subject. I just didn't really have time. And I definitely wanted to. And in picking what I picked, yes, I went on all the websites. So I scrolled through and looked at price and filtered and stuff like that. But no, I just did it all in one go in about half an hour and then was like, that was it. But then I was kind of thinking, but there is a tendency to obviously overthink things and go, like I'd listen to all yours now and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should have thought of that. But my brain instantly went to where all those things that I eventually just got went to. And I thought that's a really good way of doing it, because like if you give it too much thought, I would be, it'd be a nightmare and it'd take me ages.
Yeah, you end up going around in fucking circles.
Yeah, and taking things out and putting it back in and all that. Just thought, fuck it, that's good enough.
Which for me was half the enjoyment. My biggest frustration with the whole process was that I couldn't put like a biggie on there. I mean, the £200 price point means that you can't fucking start with...
We'll have to do £1,000 one for you.
Chypre Palatin or something, though. Well, but it doesn't have to be £1,000, but like, realistically, if it was £500 budget, I imagine several of us would put Chypre Palatin on a list, right?
Yeah.
So, and you just can't do that with a £200 budget because, I mean, it's, I don't know, what is it, £170 or something for the bottle? I mean, you're left with £30 then to do everything else. I was sort of, I did wonder.
Oh, you sheep Republican, Farrell Girl, bottle of Mandate. Boom.
Do you know what? I did put Mandate on at one point. I did put Mandate down at one point. I was like, yep, we're going to fucking have that. But I couldn't find it for the £6 or whatever it was last time. So that was.
I think we've pumped that one up as well.
Yeah. It's all down to us.
And Sasha Distel in the 70s or whatever, or 80s.
Yes. Yeah. That's almost certainly what's caused the massive rush on Mandate. Yeah. Good. Right. Well, look, let's sort of wrap it up, I guess. Any final thoughts on the exercise, Fliss, that you want to share?
I loved it. I really enjoyed doing it. I think if I hadn't had a specific person in mind, it would have been much harder. And so, yeah, I'm really happy with my list. But at the same time, I could make a different list for a completely different person and it would look completely different. So like having that thought process about one person was really useful. I found scrolling through and seeing how much stuff has gone up very interesting. Things like Farrell Girl's gone up, Paul Smith Rose has gone up, that kind of thing. I was like, oh, it used to be half the price of that. I found that interesting that even just in the space of a couple of years, some of these things that obviously were at discount places that have, the moment the glut has gone out of the discount shops, people still want it. Obviously, market forces push it up quite considerably. One of the things I was really looking for was Truth or Dare by Madonna, which used to be 20 quid for 100 mil. And it's now on eBay for £100, £150.
I suppose if you think about it like that, it makes logical sense because if it's like bargain bin, super cheap, really ubiquitous everywhere, then lots of people are going to buy it. There's going to be a certain percentage of those people that are going to really love it. And then once it's gone out of the bargain bins and it's been discontinued and trashed, it's going to become rare and difficult to get. And they're going to be willing to pay a lot of money. So it's almost like a self-fulfilling.
It is one of those, yeah.
Professor.
There's a lady.
Professor Burp.
There's a lady I know. Burp. It's a lady I know who works in Tesco's down the corner and stashes her signature perfume. And whenever I go in, we always have a chat about perfume. But I always say because she smells amazing, and she said it's gone up recently quite considerably, and she's finding it harder to get hold of.
Yeah,
she's not happy.
Parker one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, that all the old Serge Lutens, the old style label ones, before they changed them to those black labels with the big things on, the big letters, they were all available in TK Maxx for fuck all. And I should have bought a ton of them. And I sort of knew at the time. It was one of those times where I was like, I know these are going to be worth more. But I looked at them and I was like, I don't really want the Jasmine one. Not really asked about that.
It's the same with L'Artisan Parfumeur as well. When they changed their bottles, all of those old style bottles were in TK Maxx for ages. Did I buy them all? Fuck no. Why not? I would be a millionaire if I had. Selling them all for 250 quid each.
Honestly, the strictly private Boulder Serini one, I'm just having a look again. There are some cheaper ones. There are some like as low as £150, but there's one in the States which is it's got 11 watches. There's been multiples of them and nearly all sold. £378.
Fucking hell.
I paid
I
paid like £18.50 or something. It was fucking mental. But I had no idea it was that fucking nutty. I was like, oh yeah, cool, that'd be a good one to have. Look up the prices online. Fuck off. It is mad. I'm sure there were some other ones as well that I kind of checked and was like, what the fuck with the prices here? This is mental.
I was surprised that the Mugler, the Amen, because I looked at some of those the other week, and it's crazy. I've got one that's a pure malt that was in between the time when they changed the formulation of pure malt, and they made one in 2013, which is like a limited edition one called, I forget what it was called. It was called Pure Malt Creation, right? And I looked on eBay, and there aren't any. No one's selling any on there. There aren't actually any on there active at the moment. But when I look back to ones that had sold, $500.
What?
$500.
Wow.
And I've got one,
That is
and I'm like,
fucking barking.
I'll sell that for $500. I don't care. But yeah.
If you would like that for $500, please get in touch.
Get in touch.
Okay, James, any final thoughts? No, of course not. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I like to say, despite my seeming sort of lack of kind of energy and just going, oh yeah, I did it in half an hour, I actually I thought it was a really good idea for a thing, and I think it's been really good to hear everyone's things. And there's a lot of mileage in this, and we can do it for different people, different budgets. You know, we could even say, this would be quite a good one, right? Because this is an extra little twist on it. Why don't you take a perfume that you're not asked about selling out of your collection, right? That can achieve a lot more than you paid for it, and whatever you get from that, that's your budget to then spend on perfumes for X person.
My God.
Do you know what I mean? There's loads of twists in there that we could do.
Yeah, very good. Very.
Or we could do it for each other as well, like 250 quid, and we have to.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You're just going to buy me 4 bottles of Sauvage, aren't you?
No,
but I really thought it was good. Anyway.
Good. I am glad. Ben, final thoughts.
I'm just surprised we didn't have more crossover, to be honest. I expected like a good handful to be like, you know, I thought we'd all at least have one that sort of in everyone else's list. But yeah, no, quite.
So the only crossovers were James and Fliss both had the Theophenol, and Fliss and I both had the Eau de Bao. That was it.
But there was loads of like checks back to episodes. Obviously, Ben, with the Bedo, and you with the Melograno. And do you know what I mean? There was like loads of little ticks to like things that we'd looked at. And it's good that we've been able to afford them, because it's not like stupid pie in the sky Henry Jacques sort of stuff that we've gone, clearly that wouldn't work in the budget. But I mean, like, that's a bit of a bad example, but you know what I mean. It's been stuff that's been affordable, but it's been stuff that we've really raved about equally as much as those kind of big, expensive brands. So as Dan made the point before, it just goes to show all these like influencers pushing all this like minimum £200 a bottle stuff. The amount of things that you could get an amazing little mini collection curated by us. We, was fucking arbiters of, whatever.
Arbiters of good taste.
Purveyors of filth. Arbiters of good taste. No. So I just think that's great. And if people just listen, take that away from it, then good. Our job is done, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think we should publish all of our lists on either a Facebook group or Instagram or something. But I think it's been absolutely brilliant, and I think anyone with 200 quid would do themselves no harm at all buying any one of those fucking collections. I think they're all really good. So excellent work, team. Right, well, it's been a wild ride. Once again, we've been Les Oderants. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with another fantastic episode. We haven't figured out what it is yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fucking brilliant. In the meantime, you take care, and we will be back soon. Bye.
Bye.